I need that for you.
Or is this in the rule book? Teach him certain things from a young age, which I wish I was privy to that information. I would have been in a much different space.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not cool, so I'm not going to do it. Well, who said it wasn't cool?
It was all a dream. In sushi, black culture, like Japanese restaurant and everything else.
Yeah.
But
Wakanda Forever merch by her store.
wait, did you make that yourself?
Yes.
So you're telling me you created something?
Yes. All the stuff in the Etsy store is created.
No, I know that, but
It's actually our son's Etsy store, so we created something that you could generate some money for him. You don't have to ask us for $1. He has no money.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, in the information age, it's up to you if you're interested in learning that, make things a little bit easier.
The group's just like, okay, like that's cool, but you're building a system already, and then you're just gonna teach them the system versus like,
Of course.
I guess like our generation was like, you gotta set goals. Like,
We didn't learn a lot of these things until we were like 30.
yeah. Popeyes does what we like perfectly fine. So let's just go to Popeyes, you know?
Friends for different stuff. Different friends from different backgrounds.
Different buckets.
Because you learn different things. We get too comfortable with what we know, and we usually don't like to venture out and learn and expand, open our mind. We're not very open-minded with a lot of things at times.
Yeah. Cash money for my credit card and then bring it to the location, as they like to say.
We don't. We just don't have to.
We don't even have to.
We don't have to.
I don't even think sometimes you need to even be able to like explain it. Sometimes you just state.
No.
You just state what you said.
Yep.
And you just move on.
We were saying. Thank you guys for checking in once more. Works getting feeding that's fashion, art, music, and education. That's what we like. That's what we into. That's what we love. And it's about collaboration. I mean, Caribbean kids. Well, people from everywhere, to be honest, but mainly it's a Caribbean Kids podcast.
Just remembering that you have the ability to create stuff. You know, a few times ago, it used to be drawings, used to be writing stories, everything else. Now we're able to have conversations. The cool ones they used to have. Like my favorite show I used to grow up and watch sometimes was That 70s Show, and I just remember the kids hanging out in the basement, just having cool chats.
Yeah.
Obviously not the drug stuff, but you know what I mean. Just the point of having good conversations with friends, with family. And I think that's important. And I just want to say it again, Mr. Prince, you're doing a great job of what you're doing, and continue to create. Don't ever stop creating.
Can't. Thank you. Same to you, man. It's creative. Being creative is something I've always used as just a way to escape. I guess like I was saying earlier, for me, like drawing and stuff like that, it's a mental thing for me. It's more of just something just relaxing is calming. Some people do pottery.
Yeah.
Some people listen to jazz. Might listen to some. Miles Davis or something smooth, something just chilling and relaxing. Sip wine, not my thing. Not a fan of wine plus alcohol. Yeah. So for me, it's just always been drawing, writing.
It's your self-therapy. That's what you need to do. For me, it's writing questions and ideas. I'm getting back into that. I'm very happy, and I'm learning to communicate. Not like, oh, you're really well-spoken, as we were talking about before. I've just learned to just communicate and just be me. And whether that's authenticity or whether that's inauthentic, I don't know. There's a reason why I call myself the misunderstood prophet, because some people I just don't think take enough time to do that self-reflection, understand themselves first.
I think a lot of times people know, but I think a lot of people are not okay with being honest about it. Like what they think about you is what they are okay with just believing.
Yeah.
They think, or some people will think they know you more than you, and you're like.
The amount of times
whatever.
The amount of times we've been called, hey man, yo, you soccer boys, yo, I see you Prince, I see you CJ, yo, all you guys play soccer. No, we're more than that.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Hope y'all good. What's happening? Back again.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, that's a biggie line, buddy. That's good. Well, thank you guys for checking in once more again. You know where it is. It's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Down in the ATL. Last season.
Season 4, but don't worry, we're still gonna do more.
Yeah. First of all, thank you guys for checking in. Please, if you can, help us out. It goes a long way. It's free. Like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you think. Of course, if you want to collab, you let us know. We're open to all criticism, information, comments. What do you think? Don't like, see improve, whatever.
We haven't heard anything, so I guess we just gotta keep going.
Yeah, just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
You gotta do the Master P. Just keep going. And
Master P.
It'll finally hit.
Yeah.
Don't forget, check out his podcast, Mind the Questions.
Mind the Question podcast, soon to be coming out this Christmas.
Links in the bio. Of course, today we got the Wakanda Forever merch by our store.
Wait, did you make that yourself?
Yes.
So you're telling me you created something?
Yes. All the stuff in the Etsy store is creative.
No, I know that, but I'm emphasizing maybe for the viewer.
Yeah, so it's drawn, so it's Wakanda Forever. So we got Namor, T'Challa, we got Shuri, and we got the man Killmonger. So,
hey, Killmonger. Never
the second one, Wakanda Forever, as always.
Yeah.
It's actually our son's Etsy store, so we created something that you could generate some money for him. You don't have to ask us for $1. He has no money.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff like that helps create, what do you call it, generational wealth, I guess.
Yeah.
Money as far as credit goes, you know, he have his own accounts, you know, income, stuff like that. So,
Bro, this kid's set, man. I'm jealous, yo. No one.
you gotta, if you can, well, in the information age, so much is out there. It's up to you if you're interested in learning that stuff or not.
Yeah.
But the information is out there. We can do certain things to make things a little bit easier. It's not easy at all, but
I think
make it easier.
so. Like you're building a system already, and then you're just gonna teach them the system. Versus like,
Of course,
I guess like our generation was like, you gotta set goals. Like,
we didn't learn a lot of these things until we were like 30.
yeah.
You know, you can teach him certain things from a young age, which I wish I was able. I was privy to that information. I would have been in a much different space.
Oh, trust me, I feel the same way too.
Yeah,
So Atlanta ends on an episode, as I joked before, it was all a dream. And for me, season 4 has been, as you've called me, the big Childish Gambino fan and everything else. It's been all about because the internet. And I see like imprints or what I think are maybe like subtle Easter eggs leading towards inspirations of this. And this episode focuses on everyone's, I'd like to say, favorite relatable character, Darius, and just going on a journey while the other side of the group is enjoying, trying to support, you know, black ownership, you know, a blockbuster sushi restaurant, you know?
So let's start with that.
Okay, all right, let's go.
What's going on, or what's wrong with us supporting one another? Why don't we? Why do we always feel everyone else's stuff is more important, more impactful, more luxurious? Because we always have to question one another's, oh, where did you get it from? Well,
Yeah.
oh, is it real cotton? How is it? Who sources this? Like, you don't go to the store and ask them about the Nike stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not picking on Nike.
No. But I know exactly what you mean. Like the theme here in this episode was like obviously the group wanted to go to Popeyes instead of like, you know, going to the sushi restaurant. Because don't get me wrong, and this goes back to something I think you've hinted at a lot. Is like we get our culture stolen from us. So the things that we do, or sometimes ideas that we created, and we don't get at least the credit for. That's what I'm thinking of when I'm looking at this situation here in Atlanta, where okay, we have like a fusion sushi, black culture, like Japanese restaurant and everything else.
Yeah.
But the group's just like, okay, like that's cool, but Popeyes does what we like perfectly fine. So let's just go to Popeyes, you know?
Yeah. So we're I find a lot of times too, we're too stuck on, and this is why I stress and emphasize on having different everything.
Yeah.
Different friends for different stuff. Different friends from different backgrounds.
Different buckets.
Because you learn different things. We get too comfortable with what we know, and we usually don't like to venture out and learn and expand, open our mind. We're not very open-minded with a lot of things at times.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not cool, so I'm not going to do it. Well, who said it wasn't cool? Like, where is this in the rule book?
Yeah, that's true. That is
So
true.
we just continue what we're accustomed to. Oh, we love chicken, we love Popeyes, so we just continue with Popeyes. Even though there's something else right there that's a little different,
Yeah.
but
But I think what people are feared, everyone always fears the unknown. Like, if you try something new and you don't like it, then you'll be like, okay, A, I wasted energy, A, I wasted time. But I think it's more
isn't that life though?
that is life, you know? I tried a different bus route today to get here.
You got lost.
And I got lost, man. Parents had to pick me up, man. It was all a dream. but
No, that's different. How do you use the GPS? I never.
hey man, you do what you gotta do, man. But sometimes what was enlightening about it was like, okay, it's a different route, and then like all of a sudden afterwards, like once I'm past this like autopilot mode, all of a sudden you're thinking again. And I think for some people there, it's like thinking about like the basis of like, okay, I'm trying new food. Okay, what does this food taste like? Like, do you actually stop? Like, I think a lot of us just like consume. Like, I know I'm a consumer of podcasts, but even recently, I've noticed like I gotta like stop consuming as much, and I gotta start creating. That's why, you know, when you called me to do this, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start creating more stuff, you know, because if I'm start creating ideas and then I start taking action on those ideas, then you get into eventually hopefully a position of like what you call your own definition of success.
Yeah.
And then there's more of a balance where it's like the world's just not asking you to like take in all this information. You're giving back to the world, and then you can give back to other people. Because I think there are a lot of creative people out there. It's just that they're not given the platform, or at least creating their own platform. Doesn't need to be the biggest, you know, stage or whatever.
Or have the confidence to.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know who wants to do a lot of things, but they're like, yeah, I don't know. And it's just like, what are you so afraid of?
Yeah.
You know?
I believe obviously, yes, you can't do everything, and as time keeps going, you know, you have less time to do more things.
Yeah.
So you just got to pick like 2 or 3 things. And I harper back to your comment that you said with me, like, you know, I think it was off screen. We were basically talking about like, yo, Julian, you know, you do all this great, amazing stuff like left and right and all this other things, but like you just need to focus on like 3-5 things. And I agree with that. I think sometimes to be a creator, it's not about getting more stuff; it's about getting less stuff. It's figuring out what your priorities are. Like we were joking before, like, yo, you used to get FIFA every year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Last time I played was like in
And then after
19.
a while, I used to skip a year because I realized, it's the same thing there. Like,
Yep.
There's major differences usually comes in every 2 years.
Yep.
I think the last FIFA I have, I think it's 21.
Yeah. Okay. That's 21.
No, I'm not saying 21.
COVID added 8
20.
years.
20? Either 19 or 20. Let's say 20.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's no point. I'll probably get the new one because...
It's a new one, and it's been like 3-4 years.
Yeah, so...
Treat it like the World Cup. Every 4 years,
Yeah.
all right, they'll pick it up. There should be enough updates in this game, and then there's enough of a learning curve in the gap.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of didn't get a lot of them too since then because I haven't decided if I'm going to upgrade a system like PS4, but it's just like, what's the point? I hardly play what's here. So why am I going to go spend a whole bunch of money to get a new system?
may as well just spend it on a PC. That's my current debate on that. So, yeah. Alfred was trying to go, though, to bring it back to the sushi restaurant that Alfred obviously didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
Van recommended because it's a friend of a friend, and then Alfred's trying to give the cosign, like just like how we were saying with Kanye just a little bit earlier. And then, Ern's just like, yo, we just do this, it's good PR with everything else. And, Darius said that he was going to meet up with the crew later, and then, like, he went on his little side adventure that I think everyone always does appreciate. And to be honest, the episode did trip me out a little bit. Just with like how the cuts were, like the time that I thought it was a dream, but it wasn't a dream, where they were in like the little tea house afterwards after he had his like first little like wake up. I forget what the rooms are called, but it's like you're locked in a dark room and you're floating in water, and you can either listen to music or nothing, and you're just there with your thoughts. And
Yeah, it's more like a... You do them a lot in like South America. This is like Costa Rica. Hallucinogenic baths.
yeah,
So if you want to do certain things like enlightening, just deep meditation, get more in touch with yourself.
yeah,
So they have like herbs and stuff where you can boil, you can either sit over or pull your face over, kind of like a steam,
yeah,
and you cover yourself and you just experience certain things. Kind of like what you call psychedelics, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah, it's more like the healthier way because that's what kind of where they get that idea of that kind of stuff from.
And I don't want to forget about her because I did like the conversation before, because the first seed that I liked about this episode was Darius was going to the pharmacy to go pick up meds for Easy, I think was, or Ease, or whatever his name was, but he's important. And the lady that has the conversation with him, I've had those types of actual experiences before where like you just run into someone and someone just is like, you're a really nice person, like you have good energy or whatever, and then like I'm thinking like, okay, like wait, you're too much in that like woo-woo spiritual like rocks and everything else. Like sometimes like, but she seemed very genuine when she was having that conversation with him, which was nice. And I just was kind of curious to see like what was like your interaction when like you were witnessing that. Like I guess like she went through stuff. Like the best example I can think of is Forrest Gump. I'm not sure if you've seen that movie. It was a really old movie, but the girl that Forrest is interested into, I think it's Jane was her name. She went through like just basically a bunch of stuff. She went through like her whole hippie phase, drug phase, everything else. Like she went in quotations too deep, and then she came out okay. And that's what I see when I see this woman, like a person that's like gone through real hardship or like leaned way too hard into drugs and went maybe a bit too far with herself or with her friends and everything else, and now is just trying to like slowly kind of bring herself back into reality, where I think she kind of has like an air of maturity to her. And,
well, first of all,
yeah,
I don't mind meeting new people, but it's always kind of strange when people approach you like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what is about me, but people always seem to always want to talk to me.
yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll be on the train, and they pass people and come and start, and it's like, why me?
My headphones are in.
My headphones are always in.
Don't you see? My headphones are in.
And sometimes it's like, you try not to be rude, you hear what they're saying, you respond, and you think they're done, and you put
Yeah.
your music back on, and they continue talking, and you're like, oh man, what do I do?
Oh man, that happened to me the other day. There was
Sometimes I change cards.
you have to.
I change cards. I'm just like, yeah, this is my stuff.
This is my style. Bye.
I catch the next train. I'm running the next one. What is it about me?
I don't know, man.
I go out, sometimes I go out, and someone will be like, hey man, what's up? Hey. All right.
Okay.
Or like when we went to that wedding last time. This guy walked by randomly. Hey man, you want to watch? What? No.
I remember the guy. I remember the guy, man. Oh my gosh, man.
I said, bro, why?
Why me?
I'm there in the parking lot waiting to go somewhere. Hey man, you want to watch? No, man, I'm good. $5. No, I'm okay.
$10.
No, he said 20 for the one that works. I was like, wait a minute. Why do you think I wanted one that didn't work? Because it's $5. I don't know why. 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I went to get some stuff on Buckport.
Yeah.
Get some fruits and snacks and stuff. As I'm going in my car, a gray SUV just pulls up. Hi.
No.
What do you
What?
want? Hi, help. So I was like, what do you want? A lady in the passenger seat and a guy driving.
Yeah.
It's like a gray Porsche, Audi.
Okay, Adi. Yeah.
And then she goes, I lost my wallet. I don't have any money to buy gas. Could you help me? I was like, no. And she said, "I'll give you my gold." She has a gold ring in her hand. I'm like, "No, I'm okay, thanks."
No, it's fair.
And then they just drive off. First thing I'm thinking, why are you driving around with someone in the Audi? You're asking me for gas money. I don't understand.
Status, like, dude,
And like randomly, why are you just randomly driving through a parking lot?
you're wasting gas.
Why didn't he drop you home? Oh, the worst is usually the same thing. You're in the parking lot, about to go somewhere, and someone pulls up. "Hey, man, $500. I got this TV in the back." No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Police is not coming to my house. Ask looking for no TV, okay?
And with smart TVs now, things can be tracked, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it just the.
They can be tracking people.
Yeah.
They put a chip in there and not even know where you live. No, I'm good. I like saving money.
Yeah. Hashtag save money.
I'm very conscious when it comes to spending, saving, investing, and all that stuff. But I would much rather go to the store
Yeah.
and pay the 2-3 times the price, even though I know it's not worth it. And at least I know I can go to sleep, and police is not gonna come to my door,
Yeah.
and no one's gonna be tracking me. No one's gonna come to my house.
Less likely.
Yeah, like I'm okay. Oh, help! I'm like, what do you mean help?
But help.
I thought something was wrong with her.
Yeah, mentally illness or something, like she got debt. She's trying to hustle, man. Like,
Of course.
like I almost fell for a scam like this time last year where like someone had called and I ordered a bunch of packages because like you know Secret Santa and all these gifts and they're coming my way, and then all of a sudden it's like your credit card or whatever information's been like taken, or like I think it was like my ID was found. So I lost my ID like I think it was like 2 summers ago in like Montreal. So I'm thinking in my head when the person says that and they're holding my packages, they're like, "Oh, we found your ID. Someone else was using your ID from Nunavut credit card." So basically, I was getting scammed because I was receiving an order from Amazon, like several orders.
Yeah.
But they said that they were holding it at the borderline. So,
Oh.
so those borderline. So I kid you not, just because like I'm distressed, I'm going through like lunch break. You know, shout out to my friend Ashford, man. I see you, man. You calmed me down afterwards. I think I even tried to give you a call, but we were like, next thing. Like,
Yeah.
But long story short, I ended up like literally like a couple steps away from the bank and almost about to give this money away. And the one question that ended up saving me during that situation was like, I asked them like, "Hey, can I pay off my credit card?" And they were like, "No, like you're gonna withdraw money from your credit card and your checking account." And then that for me like triggered and said that to my brain to say like, "Hey, wait, this doesn't make sense. I just asked, can I pay it on my credit card? But this guy's telling me to withdraw cash money from my credit card and then bring it to the location," as they like to say. So yes, it sounds like, yeah, okay, why are you falling for it? Well,
So what they wanted was to pay them to get the card back.
what they basically wanted to do was they wanted to shut down your account. So like you're basically identity theft. So you need to withdraw as much cash that way then you can survive to get by. So what they were gonna say was like, "Hey, you transfer this cash to us at the location, and then that's the money that you'll live off while we sort out the rest of your account." But the reality is you've withdrawn all the money, and once you get to the location, you're not gonna get that cash money back. So like your identity theft or your information isn't at risk, or unless like you obviously give them your information and such. So it's a clever scam. I'll definitely say that. Definitely watch out if you're watching this during the holiday season or anytime during the year, because you know what the thing is like you'll think about like this person's called the same person or like 100 different people, and there's always one person, or you get like an old person that's just sitting at home that hears this call that is like seeking call conversations like that. Like heck, that even happened to like my pops actually a couple months ago. Duck cleaning service. Yo, you're just like my dad. Everything else, I'll give you the premium service.
Duck cleaning. Those guys.
Those guys are scared. And the funny thing was, I came home one day and they just chilling there. I had to tell the guy, "Get out," basically. Like, look, we sorted out whatever thing, and then boom. And then since then, thankfully, my dad's listened.
I wouldn't pay that, man. Like, you're taking advantage of someone. Hey, you're taking you're taking advantage of an elderly person who isn't fully there or understand what's going on or what you're doing or what details. You shouldn't be doing that.
Agreed.
If I came home and met them, I'm like, "Okay, you guys got 2 minutes. Call the police or you gotta leave."
Yeah.
It's that simple. Don't look for $1 and don't even think about coming back here either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they do that a lot. Like, they get your number from wherever, or they say it's 401.
Yeah.
You gotta list your number there, don't you? So
I think so.
So I don't think they're just trying to use that to say, "Oh, well, this is how I got it. I didn't get it." Because you can buy people's information.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know if that's what they're doing.
If you have money, obviously you can buy it. It's the same thing with ads. Like the amount of apps that we use with third-party ad selling. Like the reason why apps are so free and everything else is just because of that. And it's frustrating how sometimes some people don't think about all of this stuff, but at the same time, if you do think about it all the time, it does get very depressing.
Yeah, that's why a couple people I know they say like, "Hey man, I'm not on social media, man. I don't want anyone to get my information." Like, you know what, bro?
They do.
As long as you have a phone, they already do. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what you believe. There's a GPS on there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever app, if you have one app on there, even if it comes with an app, someone already have your information. So it kind of doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on. I guess you could limit it.
Yes, you can
But then
limit.
again-
You can limit what information. You can limit like how often you update your photos to something. Like one of my favorite apps that I'm using right now is it's kind of like a personal journal / like Instagram app. So like I understand like a lot of people want to like post their new pictures on social media and everything else.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable, if that's your photo album place and you trust it, like because once again you're comfortable with like a Facebook or like an Instagram, cool, totally get that. For me, I never really got into Instagram, and I was trying to take a step back since COVID with Facebook. So that's why like I don't post as much on there because I don't see value in there anymore. I find more value in this current app that allows me to like you can journal daily, you can take pictures and you can include it there, and then you don't have to worry so much about it. And then it's kind of just for you versus like I think everyone wants everything to be for everybody, that type of stuff. So
That's the point of social media. Though.
I don't want to be social though.
That's not too bad.
Yeah,
As long as you're not one of those people who don't post anything ever, but sees everything, I'm kind of suspicious. I don't like people.
hey man, they just
I don't get people like that.
that's me with
Your
podcasts.
page is blank, but you see everything someone posts or like. No,
Yeah,
what is up with that?
I don't have anything quality to post. I just want to live everybody else's lives. I don't know.
I don't know that. Who are you working with? Who sent you?
I don't know, man. It's a possible reality, man. So the one thing that like as we progress, I guess looking further into the episode, more dig into Darius after the pharmacy situation. He gets to the location and he gets to just enjoy like his experience. I guess like the thing that I found was shocking was that he was doing it weekly. So like generally what I've learned and one of my good friends,
Well, was he? Or he just went there one time?
I think he goes weekly. Like I think
What if
way
he was dreaming it the whole time?
I don't think it was a dream.
You ever seen Shutter Island?
No, I haven't.
You should.
Okay.
Shutter Island is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mhm.
So he dreams that he gets sent. Okay, you ever seen American Psycho?
Yes, I've seen some episodes.
No,
The movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, the movie.
Christian
shoot.
Bale.
Oh no, didn't see the movie then.
Okay, I don't want to spoil the movie, but basically, Christian Bale gets this job at this corporate office, it's like Wall Street or something.
Yeah.
And then he's one of the top guys there, so he makes friends with everyone,
Mhm.
forces people he doesn't really get along with, it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's a point where they get to this everyone have to have their own business card.
Yeah.
So they're exchanging business cards, saying, "Oh man, look at the quality. This is trying to
Yeah.
see who has the best design and quality
Mhm.
and feel and all that stuff." And then it just starts showing. He just starts like murdering people.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
There's that.
women will come by, I guess, prostitute or call girls or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, murdering people, whatever. And then throughout the movie, you kind of realize that he was a psycho. He was just imagining it the whole time.
Oh.
So all the day he was going to work, meeting people, talking. It was never real.
Oh.
Shutter Island, same thing. So he basically lived an entire life on this island where, he was finding out people were being
So that-
drugs, hallucinating, whatever. But the whole time he was just one place, just thinking.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's possible he was going every week.
Yeah. I think. Wow. That's a big take, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like the one thing that like I obviously did reading after this episode because it's my favorite to be
Yeah.
honest because it
Is it-
basically
This episode.
it loops Atlanta. Because now if you loop it back to the first episode and you hear Darius, if you watch that one again, when we'll probably go through, you'll hear him say, "Man, I'm having deja vu."
Yeah.
So is this like all a dream of him, like all these episodes of seeing Earn and them making it? Or is it just technically, I guess, the reality, like this actually did happen, but for him, through his perspective, like this is just a dream. Like at the end, like I know I'm skipping the part about his brother, but I'll get back to his family. But like the part at the end where like like he's sitting out there and Van, Earn, and Al go outside to go for a smoke and everything else. If you listen carefully, there's sirens coming from because he ended up stealing the car.
Yes.
So like obviously there's a consequence to that, but in his head it's like, nah, don't worry, man. Judge Judy's thick. So this is a dream.
Why did you randomly want to see Judge Judy? I don't understand.
Hey man, we all have our breaks. Like for me, man, like it's like usually like you'll find like candles or something, or just like the clock. You want to find something of semblance to like ground you. And like you know what, thick Judge Judy grounds him, man. So
Oh man, that was just weird.
it was weird, man. But like even the guy's speech, like going back, I'm gonna flip flop back to the sushi now. The owner guy that went to Japan, learned underneath like the official I guess you would say chef over there of how to cook like authentic sushi and everything else.
Yeah.
Like once again, there's one of us, or I should say, a person of color, taking the time to learn a craft from a different culture, mastering it, bringing it back, putting their own spin on it, and we're just not appreciating it because it's just like this is weird. It says, just going back to what you said, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I want comfortable. So, but you don't know how to go about it. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like as you said, just when you opened it up, like this whole episode, when you were saying like, okay, like I made an Etsy shop for my son, I'm like, wait, what? That's he's insert age. Like, point is, it's just like in my head, I'm like, well, that's way too early. But like, yet you've grasped it. You turned something that some people, including myself, maybe probably are saying is uncomfortable, and you made it comfortable, and you take an action to do that. And I think for a lot of people, they struggle with that. It's like thriving in this uncomfortability.
You gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's what life is. Uncomfortable. Is that a word?
No, it is. I've said the expression before.
Uncomfortability. Is that a word? I don't know.
We'll
if
make
it isn't nowadays, add it into the dictionary. Oxford. Thank you.
Yeah, put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. I like that t-shirt.
There you go. You see, hey, that's what I'm here for.
You get 20%.
20%. Hey.
That's how I do. That's how we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta be uncomfortable. You gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's growth. That's how life is.
Agreed.
You can't grow and be comfortable. It doesn't exist. It's
You're a flatline character if that happens.
It doesn't work. That's not how it works. And in life, for me, I have a saying. I'm gonna trademark it, so I don't steal it anyways. Every day you should do something for 3 things: your health, your finance, and your mental. Like, and there's no day off. You have to do something, even if you don't save some money today. Maybe not buy something, or not buy something you don't need.
Yeah.
Even if it's 5 minutes, just take 5 minutes, relax, close your eyes, meditate. If you will realize how difficult it is to meditate.
Oh yeah.
Like, sit there for 5 minutes and just clear your mind. Don't
And just
think about
stop.
anything.
And just stop. And that's the thing.
Tough.
That's why, like, I appreciate what Darius does. Like, yes, he's using psychedelics to kind of help him get into that state of like groundingness, but like, it is tough.
It's hard.
Just to do it naturally.
Yeah, and physical, even if you're not working out, eat something that would help you at least. It's like people always ask this question: "Oh, how often do you work out?" To be honest with you, since my son's born, he's 8 months now, I haven't worked out one day. Not much difference than what I was before.
Yeah.
I've put on 10 pounds. You don't notice, because it's the way I eat. 80% of how you feel. It has to do with what you put in your body. So
Agreed.
you don't drink a whole bunch of pop. You drink water.
Why that?
Or today I got some sorrel juice.
Hey.
Drink, whatever you want to call it. If you know what sorrel is. Sorrel is good for your blood pressure. It's a nice tropical drink. Hibiscus is a fruit. It's natural. There's no sugar in there. It's good. So it's how you eat. And think about it. If you eat proper, it limits how much times you have to go to the gym to be in that space or range that you want. Because now you don't have to work as hard.
Agreed.
My problem is I don't have goals. So for me, consistency is a problem.
You gotta build this, bro. You gotta like destroy goals. You gotta build systems, man.
As physically, I don't have goals. As long as I'm able, physical, I can do what I need to do. I'm active. I'm not overweight. I'm not anything. I'm fine. But like, as far as a goal, I don't have any. But
Like,
I gotta change something about
like you're in that sweet because I can relate especially to this. My friend jokes about calling me like you're the most athletic, unathletic person that I know, or like lazy person. I'm paraphrasing. I also have to get that on a shirt, but point is, it's just like I'm in this sweet spot of like, okay, I can be athletic, I can compete, I can do a lot of different sports. I have like like decent enough IQ to like be an average player in any sport for the most part. But the problem is because I don't have a specific goal, or I can't specialize to say like, hey, I want to gain like 10 more pounds of muscle, like that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Because I don't have that, that's where I'm just like, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay. You don't need to do much.
But the only thing that's scaring me right now is that like I'm noticing some people like that are in this space that we're in right now. They're starting to slip. Like all of a sudden, like, yo, Johnny, like, yo, you gained 20 pounds. You stop playing soccer.
Hey, man, it's
like,
gonna happen.
yo, bro, I know it's gonna happen.
It's
so that's why I'm trying to like get in the habit of building the system so that way then like you can maintain it. So that way then you can extend it, because eventually it does naturally just stop. Like
And that's why, again, naturally, after 25, you stop really growing. You stop really building anything. So you kind of have to maintain whatever after. However, easiest way is through what you eat.
Agreed. You diet, good night's sleep. Honestly,
Sleep. I'm working on that.
you have a kid right now, so it's difficult.
Even before him, but we got it under control for a while. But now it's just like, especially for like me, it's difficult because I want to spend as much time as with him. I want to spend as much time to give her a break.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time you get home after work, you go through traffic, maybe you got to stop, pick up something, whatever. You get home, you got like 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
First time to go to sleep. What are you gonna do in that?
Watch a movie,
You can't even watch a film. You can't even watch a movie probably, because then you get home, you gotta go shower.
Yeah.
Because you've been out of work all day, you can't go around them with outside clothes and being around people.
Especially with viruses nowadays. Yeah.
Especially now, everything's going around. So you go, you do that, you get ready, you come down, you eat something. Now you got 2 hours left.
Yeah.
So
Now you gotta pick a short film.
You gotta pick a short film. You might be able to get through one episode, but then again, you don't want to just watch TV every evening.
Yeah, because then you're not moving.
You know, moving. You got something to do. You got to study something. You got to learn investment, business, crypto. You got to see what happened with the store today. You got to make some posts. You got to write some captions.
Yeah.
You got to update the store. You got to change stuff.
That's why I'm telling you,
You
man.
got to do. It's a lot.
That's why you got to build the system, because from what I've seen from some podcasts, like host creators, like,
Yeah.
yes, I consume a lot of it, but like it's for the purpose eventually of taking action, and I plan to take action obviously in the near
Yeah.
future. But from what I've noticed is like a lot of them kind of like front load a lot of the days. So, like for instance, if you have like a month, some of them will use like, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So like Monday's the day where they get all the captions done. Tuesday's maybe, let's say, like edit day or something, and Wednesday's maybe like the day where they plan out the schedule, so that way then the stuff's scheduled out, so that way then you have Thursday, Friday to do those things that you were suggesting, where you have a bit less pressure. But okay, if you're working this job, and then like your goal was to be like, I don't know, like a content creator, well then you've gathered hopefully all the skills to do that. But if you don't have a direct goal, and like you're at this point now, you're kind of like looking around, you see like, oh, yo, once again, Johnny, okay, he gained 20 pounds, but Johnny's got his shit together because, you know, he decided to like put everything together, and now he's a business analyst guy or something. So
After a while, you kind of realize you don't have time to do certain things.
yeah.
But you need the time to do certain things. So like, you don't really have time. You have to like make it.
What was it? I think it was like time, energy, and money. And I think it's very rare that you ever have all three at the same time. Usually it's two.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
So
Yeah, you gotta do this, do that. Like, we're working on putting a schedule together to make things a little bit easier. Now he's a little bit more independent.
yeah.
So now you can actually, go do this, go do that, go do that. Still keep an eye on him type of thing. But it's still tough because, again, you have to work, you do this, do that, come home. Like as I say, I don't really agree with the math. 24 hours a day, you're supposed to sleep for 8. Then you gotta work for 8.
Yeah.
Spend 2 hours go to maybe back and forth.
Back and forth from the commute, where you're complaining with all the
that's
other
how
people
many-
complaining.
That's what, 18 hours? So you got 6 hours left.
Yo, I still blame the first person that hit the brakes for that, man.
Yeah,
You're affecting everyone's lives.
With the 6 hours left now, you gotta throw a shower or 2 showers in there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta throw a bathroom or 2 in there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta throw, maybe making some food, you gotta get eating in there.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready, prep, take care of yourself, your family, and and for me, this is very important.
Yeah.
Personal time, extremely important.
That's
That is one thing I value, is you have to have time for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't do anything, even if it's that 10, 15 minutes where you just meditate or something, or just sit quiet and you just think. No music, no TV. Like, you just clear your mind, where you just think and relax. Or you do something for you.
Yeah.
So for me, my thing has always been art.
Yeah.
That's my thing, to just relax. I don't have to think about anything. I just be creative. Something I'm just thinking about, or look at, change up, or whatever. And it's like, I do it so much that I was like, I have so much stuff. And it's like, might as well. I was always thinking about doing some type of business or whatever. But something where doesn't require me to physically be there.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is be somewhere else after
Yeah.
working. I'm not doing that.
You want something that's portable that you can like take anywhere.
Something I can do anywhere.
Yeah.
While I'm spending time with my family, I can be doing.
Mhm.
I can be checking, I can be posting, I can be making. So sometimes I'll be him, he'll be playing, him and I are playing, and I'm drawing something.
Yeah.
Uploading something, I'm taking some pictures, I'm doing some edit.
That's what I've been doing recently
So
with the idea list and the journaling, man.
That's how it has to
It's-
be sometimes.
It does.
Some people say, oh, I don't. So I was funny when I heard people say, oh, as soon as you have a kid, you can't do this and you can't do that. You've done everything. Like, I'm actually working on our recap for our vlog, for our YouTube channel.
Nice.
Summer recap. We went everywhere.
Yeah.
These guys went to weddings, went to Niagara Falls.
It's true.
X.
It's true.
He's went parties. He's went to zoo festivals. Like, you gotta get out. You gotta do things. You gotta live.
I think some people, but like you're choosing the things that you want to do. I think the problem with some people, especially when they do have a kid, is that they feel like they have this like whole new world of options. And I think like, but I'm just gonna use rough numbers. Let's say like you're accustomed with like 20 things on your plate, like collectively as a family unit. Most people maybe averagely is maybe accustomed only to 10, but they have 20 things. So they're not preparing themselves to be able to do 20 things. They're only accustomed to 10. And usually when people feel like they're overwhelmed, what the first thing they start to do is they procrastinate. They stop doing things. They stop trusting the systems and like the goals that they built to start doing the things that they need to do.
Maybe you're right. But here's what I've picked up so far. I find most people, they want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're happy maybe they didn't plan.
Yeah.
But they can't do the stuff that they're accustomed to do.
Agreed.
Or they used to like to have like the free time.
Once again, it's not me anymore. It's them.
Yeah.
This new king, this new queen that
I
you're
can't do what I
bringing.
want to do anymore.
Exactly.
And for me, that's where you just got to get out of your head. Everything's planned around him, but guess what? We still have to do stuff for ourselves and together. Now, if you can do stuff together, then that's just kind of makes it way easier.
100%.
So it's like you can't just sit in the house. You can't just say, oh, can't do this, we can't go here. Now, mind you, of course, we're taking the safety precautions. Like certain places I will not go. Certain events you will not find us at.
Yeah.
Like it has to be family friendly, kid friendly, such and such. So
Yeah.
so now we're just going everywhere. But there's stuff to do. You just gotta.
I'll see you guys at that next Soka Fest.
Put him on my shoulder. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know.
So there's a lot of, I know a lot of people had kids either young or late 20s,
Yeah.
early 30s, and it's just like they're just so annoyed by it because you just need to be able to just pick up and go to this event and this party. And it's like they can't do that anymore,
Yep.
and it kind of just like feel like, oh, my life's kind of over.
So I feel like it goes two ways. Either they go that energy where they still try to be doing stuff for themselves and they neglect the child, or like they go the other route, which also kind of annoys me, where they go like full in with this kid, and now they're just like, you don't say hi to your friends anymore. You don't say hi to anybody else. Like, this kid is my whole life. And it goes back to that analogy that I was using. Like, congratulations to you guys for being able to do 20 things. Like that's something that I think a lot of people are not capable of doing. I wish more people took more precaution to be proactive to be able to do that, but they don't. And, credit to you guys. But the reality is most people only know how to do maybe like 10 things. And even me saying 10 things is probably a lot for some people. Maybe it's 5.
But I find a lot of people don't do things in general, period, to begin with. Like, for instance, COVID happened.
Overwhelmed, yeah.
The amount of people who were so bored and annoyed and like miserable at home because they had to stay home because everything they do involved other people.
Agreed.
Or had to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now it's taken away from you. Now they kind of have nothing. And I go, you can't be. You mean you don't do anything with yourself at all?
Yeah, it's difficult. I learned. I got back into video games.
I was just like, I wish I had all this time to do anything. I really wish.
Man, it was a torture, man. I'll be honest, the kind of quote wrestling, man, I kind of had a heel turn, or I went from extroverted to introverted by the end of the COVID, bro. Because, man, oh man, being extrovert, like, you remember how many, like, Julian, you over here, you're doing soccer, you're doing this, you're downtown.
You're still different because you do other things with yourself. Like, you're in the podcast, you're in the books, you're in the certain things.
Yeah.
You got FIFA. At least you can still do stuff. But there's some people where they literally, everything they did revolved around.
Once again, I'll bring up my friend Johnny. Johnny had to always, give a shout out to Rachel. We had to go to this party and everything else. These are made up people, by the way. I'm just giving a shout out as an example for his point. But I agree with you. Like, John, do you not have anything else part of your life that, like, you could do?
That's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, the place isn't boring. You're boring.
Yeah.
How do you not? And I'm not trying to sound anyway, but I always
it's a fair question.
Ask myself this question: how do you not have hobbies?
I just don't know, man.
I don't understand. Like, how do you just not have any?
I think that is my biggest fear, is the pinnacle of just being a consumer. Where, like, pardon my French, you're just basically living your life as an NPC. You wake up, you go to work, you do your thing to survive, you eat whatever because you saw this on a television or someone else told you what to do. Yeah. And, like, I know this may sound weird, but some people just don't think. Like, I think there are just some people that just, like, they are literally almost just like radio connectors or like radio towers where, like, they just get signals from other things. So it's like, oh, this food looks, or I'm hungry. Like, it's all instinctive. Like, they're not thinking for themselves. Because I think, like, in order to create stuff and to do stuff for yourself, you have to be able to think first. Like, so that's not to defend them, but it's just maybe possibly something that they just go through. And, like, I think that sense of independence and not being, like, codependent, I guess, is a privilege. If you're able to have it, you have it. Cherish it. If you're trying to strive for it, keep going, because eventually you may get it. But if you're codependent, like, please stay away from me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta find time for yourself, man.
No, you definitely do.
Me time is very important. It's very sacred. That's how you know who you are. That's when you get to, like, detox. You get to reset. You know what I mean? If you spend all your time filled up with doing everything all the time with other people and stuff like that, you realize after a while everything just gets crowded in here.
Agreed.
It's like there's times when I'm driving to work, I won't put the reading one on. And I love music. So
yeah, you do.
I listen to music. I listen to a lot of different podcasts, but there's times where I just don't turn it on.
I'm starting to notice that recently too.
Yeah, I want to hear the road as I drive.
You know what? There's sometimes I've been catching myself now, like, I'm on the commute back and the headphones are in, but I think as a defense to make sure no one talks to me, but I'm not playing anything. I'm just, like, enjoying the sounds and just trying to, like, because I think that's the thing, like, that's why, like, shower thoughts are so important, because, like, it's just like that rare moment where, like, you're with your thoughts and your brain's, like, kind of, like, processing, sorting it out. This goes into this bucket. This is an idea that I'm going to take action in. That, like, if you're, like, so go and you keep filling stuff up and you're not giving your brain time to process it all, like, so. But yeah,
that's what it is.
So I'm going to ask you, though, because Al probably is very relatable to you in this episode. Would you have done that? Would you have gone there, even if you didn't like the idea behind the restaurant? Like, because I find like the restaurant was like something that...
Yeah, because it's important. Again, it's important that we support one another. Like, it's very, very important. Like, designers who
do
and sell a lot of stuff. Pierre Morse, Telfar, Virgil, rest in peace to Virgil. Virgil was great. Of course, there's Tremaine. Like, there's a lot of good designers who do a lot of stuff.
But I think once again it goes back to people just doing the education. Like several of those names you just mentioned, I didn't know them because I didn't do the education. I didn't do the research into it. I think a lot of us because.
But the question, okay, so why don't we know them? No, you know who's Rockaway?
Yeah.
Okay, you know who is Walkware?
Yeah.
Okay,
sort
so,
of.
Yeah, Walkware is the lady. What? Oh man, what is her name? I can't remember her name, anyways. But yeah, she was like one of the first like real urban streetwear black designers. She's been around forever, like since Tupac days. Like those guys used to wear clothes, and then there's like Carl Kanai and stuff like that. So it's like there's people, but we just have to support them. Like we know them, cool. We might buy a few of them.
Like you need majority. So even if you are the one person in the cog of, let's say, like the 12 steps before it hits the consumer, you're still 1 out of 12. You need 7 out of 12 people on that line to have the similar energy or mentality as you to say that. And I think the reality is, unfortunately, there are 1s or maybe 2s or maybe even 5 on that line, but there's not enough to be the majority to say a pushback to the brand to say like, hey, this isn't right. This is how we should be doing it, or this should be the person that we should be associating this with, or like, hey, we don't like this right now, let's try this in orange. I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like you need to get these people in the right positions, and unfortunately there are people out there that, like one of my friends, he always jokes with me like, you're so well spoken, everything, you should be a politician. I don't want to be a politician because I see the way and the hate that a lot of people always get in politics.
What does well spoken mean?
Well spoken means that you speak white. That's what it means. It means that you either speak white. I'm just trying to speak universal though, and the most universal language is comedy. And for me, like Atlanta is doing that. It's talking about the black experience, but through the comedy lens.
So if you don't speak like that, you don't speak well proper.
No, I think I do speak proper.
No, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, I always hear people say that statement to certain black people, and I go, "What does that even mean?"
For me, it's.
But then when you question them, they can't explain it because they know exactly how it sounds. And how it looks.
What it is like. You are part of a different culture to them, and they would not thinking that you would be able to keep up in this topic or subject. So their way of just acknowledging it, where they feel like they shouldn't just like say nothing, because I think that would almost be like disrespectful. But from our perspective, that's not.
But for me, I'd rather you say nothing.
Yeah, because I just want to have a normal conversation.
Yes.
But for them, they're like I get this sometimes in meetings, sometimes where it's like I'll say an idea. And instead of like what everybody else gets, which is the nothing, and then we continue on, and then we build on the ideas. Like, that's a really great idea, CJ. That's a really great idea. And I'm just sitting here. I'm just like in the back of my head. I'm just like, why are you saying that?
You didn't think I was capable.
Like, you didn't think I was capable of doing this? Like I'm capable of creating great ideas. Like if I don't say like a little prefix to some idea, like you know what, I'm just spitballing. This may be a bad idea or something like those types of things. Like I shouldn't have to say that. But like sometimes you have to be self-aware of the room. And unfortunately, some people are going to maybe look down because they maybe have limited interactions on, with other people. And unfortunately, they don't know that, like, oh, you're really smart in these certain subjects. Because unfortunately, as I like to say with life and because of the internet, everyone has cue cards. So when I look at you, I have these cue cards of like little like quick stats and everything else. And as long as you fit those things, everything's great. But when you say something that's not on my cue card, all of a sudden, like, oh, that was a nice idea, or well spoken, or like, I never would have expected that from you. And all of a sudden, instead of just me being like this, continue.
Yeah. We have an individual who says stuff like that, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? I came to a point where I was like, you know what? It's good morning, good afternoon. That's it. I don't even want to have a conversation. There's no point. I know exactly who you are as a person, and what you think, and know what your outlook is. I've tried to have a conversation with you to, have certain understanding or whatever, but it's clearly you're just not there.
Yeah.
You're not interested. So I don't want to have a conversation with you. Tries to have a conversation, I usually just walk away. Like, no, man, I'm good. Take it easy.
Oh, yeah.
There's certain people I just don't have the energy and time for.
I don't have the energy to do
There's
either.
teachable moments, and there's times where you just got to just mind your business. And that's one thing I've worked on a lot. It's just finding no one to just be like, whatever.
I'm in the process of doing that. It is so
really
hard.
Smart. Oh. You're like, oh, you're a smart guy. You would do this, and it's like I usually say, you know what? I'm not smart, man. I'm not. So I don't know why you need to bring that up. But okay, I'm not smart. Don't put that up.
Don't put that on me.
No.
I had one of my biggest issues from work, and then I'll bring it back, I guess, to Atlanta, was the best way I could put this was I had an argument over being seen as a master versus just seeing like a specialist or an expert. So I took offense to when one of my colleagues was saying like, you're a master of this. And I, calmly explained to them that I do not want to be labeled this word, because master means like, okay, black belt, I can do this, I can teach everything else and everything else, versus like I come from a personal philosophy for myself that I'm always learning, which means technically you'll never achieve mastery.
Yeah.
Mastery is just like some high level word that just basically make up another level for some next person, versus like, you know what, you're not just an expert, you're a master now. Like, okay, like, all right, that's like inventing a job title. Like, I don't need this additional job title that means pretty much the exact same thing as an expert.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to choose a different word to describe it, and they had massive pushback with that, because for them there's like, this is what's written on the paper, so this is what it has to be. And this is where like I started to learn what you were just describing about, where it's just like, I just don't have the energy for this.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whatever.
There's times when I have the time.
Oh, I don't have the time.
You know.
I don't have the time.
No, because sometimes it gets ridiculous, and there's times where I go, you know what, not today. I'm having a really great day. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
You chose violence, as they say.
Yeah. There's times where you just have to do it.
Agreed.
It's like my dad always tells me, he's like, yeah, you should just, and there's times I go, Dad, sometimes you just have to answer.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's true.
you just have to push back. Sometimes you just have to say something.
You can't create this
And-
image of being perceived like
Yeah.
being walked over all the time.
And it's a lot of times, and even say something may happen at work or whatever. I always tell people, it's not even really for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the person who may not have the courage to stand up,
Yeah.
or for themselves, or so it doesn't happen to someone else. Because a lot of times when people do things, it's a pattern.
Agreed.
It's something that they were accustomed to get away with. So now they just continue doing it, and it's normalized for them.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna say, "Hey, man, that's not cool"? And if I tell you it's not cool, and you try to tell me what you believe and what you think, and how I'm wrong and receiving this way, either we can have a proper conversation, we come to an understanding, we don't have to agree. Either we can be cool or not. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not gonna go to sleep later on. Oh man, he doesn't like me, because no, I'm not that guy. I'd rather you not have any interactions with me
Yeah.
than me pretend that I'm okay with what you did or said because I don't want to offend you. Or it's like I said last time, just because you're wrong doesn't mean you're right. But I'm not gonna accept what you believe just because you said it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what it is. I'm on the other end, the negative end of the spectrum of this. I'm telling you how it is. If you understand or you're willing to at least be open-minded, cool. If you don't, then you don't. We just don't have to.
We don't even have to.
We don't have to.
I don't even think sometimes you need to even be able to like explain it. Sometimes you just state.
No.
You just state what you said.
Yep.
And you just move on.
We were saying. Thank you guys for checking in once more. Of course, we had film, fashion, art, music, and education. That's what we like, that's what we into, that's what we love. And it's about collaboration. Caribbean kids, well, people from everywhere, to be honest, but mainly it's a Caribbean Kids podcast.
Just remembering that you have the ability to create stuff. You
Yeah.
know, a few times ago, it used to be drawings, used to be writing stories, everything else. Now we're able to have conversations. The cool ones they used to have. Like my favorite show I used to grow up and watch sometimes was That 70s Show, and I just remember the kids hanging out in the basement, just having cool chats.
Yeah.
Obviously not the drug stuff, but you know what I mean. Just the point of having good conversations with friends, with family. And I think that's important. And I just want to say it again, Mr. Prince, you're doing a great job of what you're doing, and continue to create. Don't ever stop creating.
Can't. Thank you. Same to you, man. It's creative. Being creative is something I've always used as just a way to escape. I guess, like I was saying earlier, for me, like drawing and stuff like that, it's a mental thing for me. It's more of just something, just relaxing is calming. Some people do pottery.
Yeah.
Some people listen to jazz. Might listen to some, Miles Davis or something smooth, something just chilling, relaxing. Sip wine. Not my thing. Not a fan of wine plus alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's just always been drawing, writing.
It's your self-therapy. That's what you need to do. For me, it's writing the questions and ideas. I'm getting back into that. I'm very happy, and I'm learning to communicate. Not like, oh, you're really well-spoken, as we were talking about before. I've just learned to just communicate and just be me. And whether that's authenticity or whether that's inauthentic, I don't know. There's a reason why I call myself the misunderstood prophet, because some people I just don't think take enough time to do that self-reflection, understand themselves first.
I think a lot of times people know, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are not okay with being honest about it. Like, what they think about you is what they are okay with just believing.
Yeah.
They think, or some people will think they know you more than you, and you're like,
The amount of times
whatever.
The amount of times we've been called, hey man, yo, you soccer boys, yo, I see you Prince, I see you CJ, yo, all you guys play soccer. No, we're more than that.
Yeah. Or the worst is, they'll think they know you so well because they have you on social media. Yeah, I see what you post all the time. Like, yeah. Whatever, the picture I just posted, that was 3 months ago. Like, you don't know, it's very important to understand. You don't know, you may know of, you may have an idea, but you don't know people because you have them on social media. You need to start getting that out of your head. You think you know someone because they post something often. No, I post stuff that I just feel like sharing, or a lot of times it's just, again, I'm working on
You're working on stuff. You're creating
digital
stuff.
space, creative. It's part of the algorithm to post often, to post certain things that's engaging, that you're trying to grow and mold. It's not that my life is on social media. There's a lot of things I do that's not on there. There's certain times during the day where I'm not on there, or
Yeah.
again, as I said, certain things I post. It's from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's 3 months ago. It's not what I'm doing right now. You think that's what I'm doing now because you've now seen it.
But you get the system, and I understand where you're coming from. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, wrap up. I don't want us to get into our usual, but we can talk for hours.
But this is how Caribbean people is.
It is true.
Especially if you're like, all right, man, I'll see you later. Yeah. Hey, man, what's happening? You guys soon.
Oh man,
You were there too, and then you continue the whole conversation. Usually you see it later like 2 or 3 times. Before
Yeah, of course.
And that's what Island Kids podcast is about. It's about us, everyone included. There's no exclusivity. Everyone is included. You know, proper.
It's a glimpse. If you're one of us,
Yeah.
you can relate. You can have a laugh.
Yes.
If you're here and you're not one of us, you are one of us because you're taking the attempt to learn and trying to understand.
Learn, give it
and
respect.
don't just be like, oh, he does this mannerism or they do that mannerism, so like, okay, then I know them. No, it's not about that. It's always be curious. Ask questions. That's why we have a comment section. Ask questions. Give compliments. See what I did there. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. You know,
time.
Caribbean people, we all about the banter. You know.
Yeah, it's, as you can see, we're trying to wrap this up for like 3 minutes now, and we still haven't. Because again, that's how we do. We just when we get going, you know, we're talking about the good times and understanding certain things, saying certain things. We just keep going.
Yeah, we keep going. But I'll let you close. I'm sealing my lips. See.
So with that being said, links in the description. Of course, Minor Podcast. Check it out. Download. Send Apple,
Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
wherever you get your podcast. It's very important. Ours will be there soon. The audio version will work on that when we can. Very time consuming. Link time for that as well. Of course, links in the bio. You can check out Wakanda is Forever. I don't know what you heard. I don't know what you've been told, but it is forever. It doesn't really matter what. This is our son's
Wakanda is a
story.
mindset.
So, we got other stuff on there, other hoodies, stuff that we're drawing, art, baby stuff, onesies, whatever. Just check it out. Hoodies, t-shirts. We're going to do a lot more different things, but all the time. We'll be on there soon. Thank you guys again once more for checking in. Stay safe, love one another, look out for one another. Throw us, of course, not hurting nobody. Continue to do your thing. Be happy with yourself and who you were. You know what I mean? All right, peace, one love, out. Later. Never bye. It's later.
See you later in the next episode.